Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, and thank you for joining me on another Budget With Me video, this time for the month of November. I do have a big update when it comes to my side hustle income, as I worked some of the numbers before pressing record on this video, and I learned something pretty exciting about the amount I'm going to be getting paid hopefully this month, so stay tuned for that. The other nice thing to point out about the month of November is that I've kind of taken a look on the horizon at the expenses that are planned for this month. And so far, it looks like most of the expenses are either one, right where I typically plan them to be, or two, they have actually dropped a little bit lower from what I have typically experienced in the past few months, which of course is good news because I'm always looking for ways to save money so that I can put that money towards either investing or paying off my student loans. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at my budget tracking spreadsheet and start punching in some real life numbers. So we're going to first be taking a look at the green income column up here. As I pointed out earlier, I have not received a single paycheck yet for the month because in my timeline of how this is all happening, it has not actually happened yet. It's still October, but I'm planning for November. And I have not received paycheck number 1 or obviously paycheck number 2. However, I did take a sneak peek at what my side hustle income is going to be this month. As many of you know, my side hustle income is similar to my regular schedule, except instead of working with older adults for occupational therapy, I work with kids, and I can kind of fit it into my schedule throughout the day. Typically, kids are up a little bit earlier than adults, and so I usually in the morning will go see a kid or two at their school and do OT with them there. Now, I'm typically supposed to submit the vouchers to get paid each month. However, September came with a couple hiccups that I won't go into in this video because it has nothing to do with finances. But this month being November, I'm hoping to submit vouchers for both September and the end of October. And I took a look at what the pay is roughly going to be around, and it is just under $4,000 that I'm going to be getting a paycheck for these 2 months. It stacks out to be just under $2,000 for each month. I think it's like $1,874 or $1,900, somewhere around there. So if you combine those months together, you guys can see I'm going to be getting a paycheck for just under $4,000. So I'm going to put that in here as the planned expense. I'm going to be a little bit conservative and not say $4,000, but maybe like $3,800, which is really nice. I mean, that's more than a paycheck would be. Obviously, this is 2 months of pay, so it won't be like this every month. But as you guys can see, that's going to push my total income up even higher to a total of $8,000 this month. But we have yet to receive any of that money. So this is all planned. We're in the planning stage of budgeting. That's part of the whole Budget With Me concept, is that you guys get to see the planning that goes behind all of this before the money starts rolling in and we have to pay the expenses. The other form of income I'm going to be receiving this month, if we can even call it income, one of my viewers actually pointed this out in my last Budget With Me I posted, because I talked about how my wife does contribute towards our bills. And one of the ways she does that is she mainly contributes towards the grocery bill. And she'll give me like $200 at the beginning of the month and just say, I'm going to be using your card when we order groceries, but here's some cash. You can deposit that in the bank account. And one of my viewers pointed out to just make a line item in the income column and just say $200 as the contribution for the month. If she contributes more or less, obviously that number will reflect her amount. So to start off with, I'm going to put $200 there, and we will go from there. That brings me up to a total income for the month of November, planned income of $8,200, which is quite a lot of money. And it will be very nice if all this income actually does come in, because next month is December, and December tends to be one of those higher spending months because of Christmas. Now, that's a good segue into the next line item on my budget spreadsheet, this pay yourself first column, because as you guys can see, I have right down here a line item, a sinking fund for Christmas that I've been saving up throughout the year as I'm able to contribute towards it. Each month, I typically put $50 towards vacation, Christmas, and family funds. And right now, these are the total amounts that are sitting in my Ally Savings Bank account. and I have buckets set aside for each of those 3 sinking funds. Just to reiterate, my save payments, this should be no shock and no news to anyone. I've been saving up for my government student loans, which are in deferment and going to be not in deferment past December of this year. So obviously I'm soon going to have to say goodbye to the amount of money I have saved up in this account, which right now is sitting at $21,000. I plan and hope to be able to contribute another $3,000 this month, which should round up the total savings to $24,000 before we get into December. But I have not contributed towards that this month, so we're going to leave the actual contribution at 0. Roth IRA, as you guys know, I've been posting about it. I contribute $100 each month towards my Roth IRA. I would love to do more. I would love to max out my Roth IRA, which would equal to be around $6,000 a year. Obviously, doing $100 a month does not hit that mark, but because my priority is saving up for my student loans, I've had to kind of put investing on the back burner, but not totally, because I have been investing in my Roth IRA and my 401k. And then vacation, Christmas, and family, I am going to be planning to contribute $50 towards each of those categories this month, which will equal $150 going towards my sinking fund savings. That will bring up this total pay yourself first category to a total sum of $3,250. And I'm hoping to be able to contribute that much amount of money this month. I don't think it's going to be that much of an issue, especially with the added benefit of the side hustle payment hopefully coming through this month. Moving on down to the expense column now. And as I said before in the intro to this video, that some of these expenses are going to be a little bit lower than they have been. Just maybe a few of them, but still that is a blessing that I'll gladly take. So let's get started. Paying myself first, I've now combined my student loans and the rest of the sinking funds into this one column. That's why this number has increased from my last videos. Instead of breaking it up into paying myself first and saving for student loans, I just put them all together. So that's a total sum of $3,250, which is what we just saw up in the pay yourself first column. Nothing new there. I haven't contributed towards any of that, so we're going to leave the actual at 0. My mortgage payment is right around $1,059 a month, and that has already been paid, even though I think it is actually a little bit lower than that. I think it's $1,044, but we're going to leave it at $1,059. The grocery bills, I have not paid a single grocery bill this month because the month hasn't arrived yet. I don't have a time machine to know how much my groceries are going to cost this month, but we're going to leave it at 0 for right now, and hopefully in the second update for the budget with me for November, I can tell you guys how the grocery bill is stacking out. Next, we have water bill, which that was paid last month. I think it was $61, so it was a little bit over the planned expense. I'm not really sure why, because we didn't really use a ton of water. I don't know. September must have been a month that we used a lot of water or took more showers. I don't know. But this month, the water bill is not due because it is billed bi-monthly. Moving on from there to gas, just like with groceries, I have not purchased gas yet this month because in my timeline, the month hasn't arrived, so that's still at 0. The electric bill, I do know what this is going to be. I received the email the other day, and thankfully, the bill is lower than what it has been. The bill this month I received was for $151, which is nice. That is kind of a total savings for my planned expense of $147. If you guys remember, about a month ago, I mentioned how I was doing my own meter readings. We're going to start to try to do those. And I did one, and the bill came back just as high as it did the month previous without the meter reading. So I got a little discouraged. I was like, oh no, maybe it's just how things are stacking out to be with the price increases of everything. However, I think it's because the billing cycle is like a month behind. I think that's typically how gas and electric is billed, a month behind. So if I do a meter reading, it's not going to be reflected the next time the bill shows up. It's going to be reflected in the next month. So I think that's why I have a lower gas and electric bill this month, $151, because I did my part and did a meter reading, which gets a more accurate determination of how much energy I'm using. Next up, we have phone, which is $70. We've already talked about that. Internet is $49.99. Gotta make sure that goes in. Whoops, can't type, sorry guys. Amazon Prime is $16. Car insurance is $112. These don't change, so I'm leaving them there. And then the last thing on the list, this is a new item on here. However, it is not a new expense. I don't know how it has slipped my mind for so many months that I have a gym membership. I go to Planet Fitness, go there about 5 times a week. And I don't know how it slipped my mind to include this into my budget with me spreadsheet. I've been doing these now for over a year and have not included this $10 a month that goes towards Planet Fitness. So I finally did it, $10. As you guys can see, that now rounds my total expenses up to $5,524.99. And we should have a net income this month with all my paychecks of $2,675.01. So I'm anticipating on not only being able to be well in a comfortable zone with my expenses this month, but also be able to comfortably do the pay myself first column, which includes putting aside $3,000 towards my saved student loans fund and putting aside money towards family, vacation, and Christmas funds in my savings account, along with contributing towards my Roth IRA. And who knows, maybe this month, because things are down, I can maybe contribute an extra $100 towards that account, which will bump up my yearly contributions a little bit more than if I only did $100. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. And if you guys are curious to know how it's been going with my track record of budgeting and maintaining my budget, be sure to check this video out right here.